But anyways, if we put all this money in these things, the white people still gonna suppress it. We still own their land and their well, it's not their land.
It's not their land. I'm glad you said that. We agree on that, James.
It's
Go ahead.
ours. This is a
It's their
land that they're trying to hijack.
it's
And
their
speaking of
system.
which, I think I
Uh-huh.
think with him saying that, sorry, I don't mean to cut you off,
Are you
but
good?
I think with him saying that is a perfect time to go ahead and flip over to this last segment.
All right.
Because he's claiming it's definitely not ours.
It's
Let's go
not.
ahead and
It's
let's
their
go to this
system.
last
Go
point.
ahead. All right.
So the last segment, people, blacks came here on ships. And the reason that Kenny, that you're probably saying what you're saying that it's not ours is because you actually probably believe that we actually came here on ships. So if that was the case, then you would be right. And either way, it still wouldn't be theirs because we know for damn sure, according to their own history, when they were trying to teach us about bogus ass Christopher Columbus, he came and discovered a world that people was already at. So how the fuck was it his? You can't discover something that somebody else is already there. But anyways, the last segment, we're gonna dive into this. I do have a video that I wanna play. It's a really short one, like a minute long. But it was a guy that made a very interesting point. And I was like, you know what? He's right. And I always felt this way anyways, but this is just more so validating more of what I always felt. And I got more points to add to it once he say his. Okay, it's not allowing me to play it. I'm gonna have to do it another way. Damn. I'm gonna have to do it another way. Hold up. Because like I said, this shit was absolutely ours, but you have to hold up. Damn. I did grab this straight from Facebook and let that think about it. You know what? I'm gonna go ahead and just tell y'all what the video said because like right now I can't pull it up. But anyways, pretty much what this guy was saying is, as we know, the oppressors that we have been dealing with has always found a way. If it's a way to make money, they are gonna do it. And one of the biggest things that they do to make money is tourist attractions, right? So with tourist attractions, we have so many different things that people are able to visit that you're able to look at. Like we got the civil rights museums, the Underground Railroad, things like that, right? That you're actually able to go to and visit it, but like this is where this took place. You know what I'm saying? So why haven't, after all these years, we haven't seen one event where they were able to host a slave ship? Think about this. It would be folks would pay top dollars to look at the ships that brought all of the slaves over to America, right? But you haven't seen one school that I know of. Y'all can let me know if y'all seen one. But I haven't seen one either where they've been able to show like this is where we brought all the slaves from Africa at and brought them over here to America. So basically what the guy is hinting at and what I also feel is that they never brought us here on ships, people. We were
Okay,
already here.
that was gonna be my question. So I guess my question was to sort of clarify what you were asking was that or saying was that we're unable to find where they docked ships, therefore the transatlantic slave trade didn't happen.
Yes.
Okay, so when you say dock ships, are you talking about like the landmarks, or are you talking about actual slave ship?
The actual slave ships.
I
The actual
guess.
slave ships that they moved, that they
So is
traveled
that
to
yeah?
Africa with, got the slaves and brought that shit back here.
Okay,
Why don't
so
they have
okay,
any of them?
okay, so is that the only requirement, or is that sort of the only thing that that you have that questions the existence of that
No,
event?
no. I have more than just that. That's just the first one I brought on.
Okay, okay, so because we don't have any slave ships, that's I guess a reason as to why you believe that the slave trade never had, the transatlantic specifically, and that we were here already. Okay.
So
No, I've never seen a ship. I've only seen like pictures, but I've seen like landmarks that says this is where the ship docks, where they had this amount of African slaves.
so it's something in there that you know that I believe it's some kind of, and we got to dig deeper on it, but it's something else in there that they are lying about. I believe they may have possibly had a little bit of success of bringing certain people to from there to here, maybe. But here's another thing that I do know that I always question. It would be much tougher for, think about the type of ships that they had back in the day. They didn't have any motor ships. So how were these ships able to go over the current and make it over there successfully? And because the currents that you're going to be dealing with is going to sink those damn ships. So how the fuck did they manage to get over there to Africa and make it back down to America
Okay,
after?
but Jamie, do you realize that they had been trading amongst each other? Like different countries had been trading spices, coffee, tobacco. It was more than just slave trips ships that were going back and forth from the Atlantic. So are you saying that those ships never made it, as well as the slave ships never made it?
I'm saying that it's something fishy going on with that shit.
I don't understand. I don't understand the reasoning. Okay, you're saying that you don't think that the ships that we saw back in the day would have made it from Africa over the transatlantic slave, the transatlantic, and made it to America. If that's the case, how the fuck did Christopher Columbus get here to the Barbados? Because that's, I
So
mean,
so this is
to
the
Bar
thing.
to
I'm not saying that they never moved from. I'm not saying that they never used a ship, period, to come make it from one country to another. That's not what I'm saying. Because I believe obviously they were able to do that. But it's easier to come from one place to another, especially if you're just following the waves to go that direction, than to be able to, let's say the current is going against you and you're trying to go up it. How were they able to accomplish that?
I mean, they had maps to tell you, just like ships now. They have maps like that you need to avoid this area. Like they had maps like that told them which way they needed to sail in order to survive the current. Right? So they wasn't coming over here just willy nilly going straight across. They do like the planes do. They have a map. They have trails that they follow. They had
Speaking of
captains,
planes,
stewards.
I think there's some bullshit with them planes too. But
So
I think
okay, but
agree with
but I mean, what about all the history of the transatlantic slave trade where people were writing about it? Not even just in America, but like books that were written during the time that it was occurring, and those authors were writing about it. What you're saying they're making that up?
I'm at the point that anything them mother suckers say to us, I think it's warranted to be challenged. But they
I
just
mean,
lie
I
about it.
agree, but a lot of, I mean, I think that I think in some cases, yes, of course, but it's not easy. It's not hard to sort of debunk sort of the trash that they try to produce. Like I think that if you go through a period, especially if you're reading history as it relates to before the Renaissance time, a lot of those authors were being as honest as they sort of could be. And now they probably were still white supremacists, but they documented how the transatlantic slave trade was going on and how they were kidnapping people said to be Jews into the transatlantic slave trade. So they were writing about the ships that were on the coast. They were writing about how the Jews were being kidnapped and then sold into slavery. So, like, for y'all to say that it didn't happen is kind of like, because you've never seen a ship, I don't think that that's equivalent. Like, that's the same thing.
I'm
Like,
just saying, I do that one is hard for me to, because I never seen that before. This is the first time I've seen it. I'm gonna try to find a way to play it so you can hear it. But
I mean, I understand the argument. I've heard that argument before, and it's not that I disagree. I do think that it wasn't just Native Indians living on this land. I think that people were going back and forth throughout this world. They were traveling to America. Like, of course, it was Black people here, and I think that, of course, those what we call Native Indians are a mixture of Black people who migrated there before them, right? Like, so I get that Black people were here, but to say that the transatlantic slave trade didn't happen, I think that can't be true. But I do agree with the fact that Black people were in America before the transatlantic slave trade. So if some of us are indigenous to this land, like, to me, that's not an argument. I think it's enough history to prove that. But then to say we were already here and none of us came from the slave trade, then to me, I think the slave trade could have happened, and it was some of us that were already here.
well,
That's sort of the
if
argument.
you pay attention, I say I do think they were successful at some of it. I did say that.
So when you say some, do you doubt the 100 million that they're claiming that they stole from West Africa?
100 million was to make it here.
Not make it here, because they pulled these people out of West Africa and they scattered them. So they're not all going to be in America. We know that Brazil had the slave trade was going to Brazil hundreds of
Yeah,
years, well,
yeah,
years, decades before they started coming to the Americas. So it's not
and yeah, the
just coming
Caribbean
to
and all that.
America; they were coming to the land. Okay, okay,
I just thought it
okay.
was an interesting topic. Charles, go. What you got to say?
I mean, well, our ancestors, ancient Israelite ancestors, they gave them up first in West Africa because we were different. And now, to your point, let's say they only did a few trips as far as them bringing the Hebrews, the whole Hebrews the Negroes thing.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I do agree with you that I think it's a reverse psychology thing. So I majored in psychology, so I like psychology, and I think they just did a reverse psychology on all the other melanated people that was already here. So a few trips was made, and then after that, because what they have on paperwork is 1619. Now this ain't quite the United States. 1619 is the 13 colonies.
You
So
know
from
what's
six,
also just real
uh,
quick. I just wanted to throw it out there while you're saying 16
mm-hmm,
to 19. You know what's
uh,
crazy is 1619 is actually the same year that the original King James version of the Bible was created as well.
yes, and that's where Jamestown, Virginia comes from. So you're dealing with the king. That's a good point you just made.
Yeah,
Jamestown, Virginia is named after King James. And when you do the year math, it's right there, 1611,
right,
1619. 1611 is when he published the book we call the Bible. And he's the first person in human history to make the Bible available for anybody who wanted it. So that's whether you like King James or not. We don't have to get into his personal life, but he's the
right.
first. Before him, you had to go to the church and let the pastor read the Bible to you. So he's the first person to make the Bible available for everybody in 1611. When he sends the people over here, they remember this is England. So we're talking about the King of England, not the Spain. The Spain came to America in 1492.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So if you're talking about the
Um,
British Empire, King James sent that ship over here, and it landed. It's documented as landed in 1619. So but to your point, Jamie, I believe majority of us were already here, and they just did the reverse psychology on all the other melanated people. They reverse psychology. They did the reverse psychology to make us believe all of us came from Africa. and that wasn't the case. It probably was a small percentage that did, and then they made everybody else believe that's where they came from, so they could do the land swap.
So yeah, this is what. Okay, so who's familiar with the Apocrypha?
I've heard of it, not too familiar with it. Yeah.
Okay, so in the book, what about you, Fakila? You're familiar with it?
Yeah, I've heard of it. I've heard of it.
Okay, so basically in the Apocrypha, the book of Esther, I think it's Esdras, if I'm not mistaken. It basically speaks on when Israel was first being divided and attacked and stuff like that, and they had to start going separate routes, right? So, according to the Apocrypha books, in order for this is what is known the northern side of Israel, what you also known as today the Native Americans. This is how they were able to cross over to the America. They said the God stilled the water for them to actually be able to. That goes to talk about that current that I was talking about. I was like, I find it very hard for them to be able to, get those routes done consistently without the boats being sinking. So according to that, it said that he stilled the waters, they were able to cross over, and then the southern part of Israel, which is the Judah side, traveled on over to Africa. And they were later sold out by the Hamites that were there.
Absolutely.
And that's how they were being captured and stuff like that.
Right.
And then they left and they were after they was ran out of it, I believe, that's how some of them got, to America, and some of them, were brought over by, like, that's why I say I think it's a mixture of both. But I think they did it like that. Like, I agree with you, it's a mixture of both, but they did it like that because they wanted us to believe that us and the Africans are all the same people, and it's not the case.
It's not. The Hamites, like you said, is sub-Saharan African. So, and you made a great point. So, as the Israelites was scattered out of Israel, I mean, when you can just look at the map, and Africa is right there. So let's localize this. Let's think about all the cities we come from. If it was a case to where you had to give up some people, you would give up the foreigners first. So if you in Memphis, if you're not from Memphis, give them niggas up. You see what I'm saying? If you're not from Chicago, give everybody who ain't from, put them niggas on the boat first. If you're not from Miami, LA, whatever city, so that part makes sense. Hey, give them niggas who take Saturday off, give them to the clear people. So that's what happened. That's what happened to us. So the Hamites, like, yo, they don't speak our language. They don't click when you got to remember, man, them people didn't even have written language, recorded history until like the 1870s. You can't say that about the Israelites. And that's a great point, because what the people who don't want us to get reparations are saying, hey, our slavery did you guys a favor because you guys didn't even have recorded history or written language prior to 1870. We had to come into sub-Saharan African and teach you guys how to develop a written language and a recorded history to keep track of your journey in this world. You can't say that about the Israelites. So for them to that's why they want us to be sub-Saharan Africans so bad. So they know slavery did y'all a favor. You guys should be thankful. That's how they looking at us. But once we prove that, no, buddy, no, we're the people of the book. That's our history right there. That's our history book. And so it's a difference between Israelites and Hamites, and it only makes sense for the Hamites to give up the foreigners in West Africa. And bro, so how do you get hymns over here in the U.S. where we singing Swing Low Sweet Chariot? Now that's a whole nother show we got to do. All of those are Hebrew hymns, bro. Kumbaya, that's Hebrew. Kumbaya, my Lord. Them niggas, part of my language, but them sub-Saharan African niggas wasn't singing shit like that, bro. That was our ancestors. Come by here, my Lord. No, swing low, sweet chariot. They sub-Saharan Africans didn't know what the hell a chariot was. The Israelites did. So that's our proof, and that's well documented that some of the slaves in the United States were singing songs that connects to the joy. Why are we talking? Why are we in the United States singing about the Jordan River that's right there in Israel? That's it. Is that not interesting? Then why are these slaves singing about the Jordan River? That's not in Africa. That's in Israel. So it's a whole reverse psychology thing. There's some real, heavy stuff we're getting into. I don't mind. The truth got to get put out there. You know what I'm saying? And it is what it is. So yeah, we can't fall for that by letting them by again more reverse psychology, make them Black American biblical Israelites believe they're Africans, and that's what Trump did. If you pull up HR 1242, Trump couldn't label us as Israelites. Okay, so we're gonna label them as Africans. That's the throw off. That's what you're talking about, Jamie. That's the finesse.
Yep.
But you not gonna see, but that man know who we are. Trump knows who we are. So the way he did it was, it ain't no coincidence. From 1619 to 2019, I'm going to be the president that acknowledged who these people were, whether they like it or not. And it went so far over the heads of his base, it went so far over the heads of his MAGA base.
They ain't
They
even
didn't
realize it.
Thank you, Fakila. That's my girl. They didn't even
They
realize
ain't
it.
even realize it.
Thank you.
And he
Come
put it
on.
on display 400 years.
Yes.
He put it
Now
on
go.
display.
And then his
Now
buddy
go
Putin
read.
is co-signing it. They don't folks don't get that either. Putin co-signed the shit. They both know. They're like, bro.
No, they know exactly who we are.
I know, that's what I'm saying. He's co-signing it.
Bro,
He knows it too.
you can line up Genesis 15:13 with Trump's HR 1242, and they both fit. They complement each other. The only throw off, or as you say, Jamie, the only finesse is, hey, label them niggas as Africans. You know what I'm saying? Don't label them as that, because the
And that
Jewish
way
people.
they can let the people that's in the Middle East finesse it like it's
Thank you.
them.
Come on, bro.
Yeah, that's what's
Yeah,
going
so
on.
there you have it. We need to make that a segment what we just went through, because that's the finesse game they put on us. And
Oh,
we
that's the
can't.
biggest heist in history.
Yes, it's the biggest heist in history. Absolutely. And they're tied together. Yo, I'm about to get in trouble for this. So let me choose
No,
my
it was
words.
prophesied that it would be people that would basically steal our heritage, and we wouldn't have an idea of who we are.
Hey, I'm
Jamie,
gonna say this: if I was to get if something was to happen that I get demonetized, y'all know we was cooking.
we was and that's why I caught myself, because I don't know if I want to make the next statement, because it gets real
Hey,
controversial.
go ahead. I don't care. Shoot it. Go ahead.
Bro, Hitler knew what time it was, homie.
Oh, bro,
Facts.
bro,
Facts.
bro,
That's why he was going ham like that.
bro said, not me,
Hey,
not me,
I might be
not
wrong
me.
after this one.
He said, not me. He said, not me.
Right.
Messing around, he would be the United States. What the United States looking like right now? He said, "Oh, not my country."
Yeah.
He
Exactly.
not. He knew what time what it
He
was.
knew what time it was. And he
Yeah.
was, yeah.
He
And
knew what
that, so
time it
like you
was.
said, that was the height. So we're at the, and they're trying to keep that a secret. This heavy stuff we discussing now. So like you
Yeah.
said, I don't want you to get demonetized. I mean, it's just world history. So he was like, you people are, now if you want to call them the 13th tribe, that's on you. But he was basically like, yo, you guys are not the people who you say you are. Now if you
But he
got,
knew who we were.
yes, he knew who we, yeah. He knew exactly what he was like, the true Hebrew. That's why they got the whole thing, Hebrews to Negroes. They pretty much transformed us
Mm-hmm.
from Hebrews to Negroes.
Y'all ever read the book from Niggas to Gods before?
I've heard about it, haven't read it.
Okay.
So
Yeah,
we
that's
got to
good.
be careful, man, because even with all this Charlie Kirk stuff going on, like I'll be kind of, it's not fear, it's wisdom, Jamie. It's being wise about the stuff you put out. But people are getting taken out because they telling the truth. The truth is becoming an illegal substance. I'm holding the phone to my damn ear like I'm having a phone call. Let me put the FaceTime back on. So yeah,
Yeah,
man,
that's
this
all.
stuff's serious. And we and So we have to look at
Yeah,
it for all the.
yeah, Ali, with the real Jews thing, because like here's another thing with the Jews thing. Taj, Cairo actually was the first one that I heard say this years ago, and it stuck with me. I was like, that should make a whole lot of sense. She's like, them folks ain't the real Jews. Think about this. What is a
Uh-huh.
Jew? The stone, it's condensed sunlight. It absorbs the sun. What happens when
Mm-hmm.
they go in the sun? They get fried. That's how you
Mm-hmm.
know it ain't there. Who is the only group of people that can go into the sun and it actually gives them energy? Us. That's how you know
Mm-hmm.
who the real ones are. And I was like, bro, that
Well,
makes a whole lot of sense.
shout out the well, I'm not gonna name drop her, but it's another heavyweight podcast person, and she brought the receipts to where their own scholars were letting it known that hey, we actually originate out of Europe. They come out of Europe, and look, I'm not. Here's what I am thankful for. I got to say this: that the creator is so great that the creator basically said, "I'm going to use a group of people to carry y'all information through time. So whenever y'all ready to wake up, you're going to already have the example of how you're supposed to be living." Think about this, bro. Without them finding our information and carrying it through time, we would be totally lost. We got the book, but we don't even believe we're the people of the book. So we will be totally disconnected. And I said this on your last show, Jamie. I'm going to say it one more time and I'll pass the mic. Out of the 8 billion people on the planet, out of all the different human race groups, how come we're the only human race group that's disconnected from their heritage, from our lineage?
The same reason why don't nobody know who the Jews are.
And so that fits like a glove. So if you said nobody know who the Jew, that's a powerful point for Keela. So if don't nobody know who the true Jews are, and we're
And
the
they have
only
no
people
idea.
disconnected, come on, does that not fit? If we're the only people disconnected and don't nobody really know who the
Under the
authentic biblical is,
curses. Under the
so
curses. It's
yeah,
so crazy how they can pick and choose. They can like we can be going. We could that the curses can fit us like a glove, and you
like
still
a
will have
glove.
people. You
Yes,
still have people saying, "Well, that's not every one of y'all." Well, it was supposed to happen to a
it's enough of
nation.
us, right? Right,
It's
it's enough
supposed to
of us,
happen
yeah.
to a nation. Not everyone is gonna
Man,
suffer from every curse, but
right,
it's gonna be a stereotype, so to say, upon
absolutely,
this nation. But people the last thing they want to do is give black people any type of anything. So of course they're not gonna agree, especially non-black people. But what hurts my heart is that a lot of us won't even consider the fact that these people could be us, even though knowing that. Well, a lot of us are raised in Christianity, right? And that's all we see. That's all we've been taught. We've never sat down and actually read the Bible. So
hmm
we won't even consider the fact that what God said will happen to these people is exactly what happened to us. And I mean, even the biggest event in history was this transatlantic slave trade, and that is prophesied to happen to the Jews, but they won't even give us credit for that, even though
right.
that is one of the biggest events that has happened in
But
history.
this is this. We're not being pro Trump right now. We just giving that man credit for what he did. He did acknowledge it. He just did it in a way, like you said, for Keela, that flew over his base head. It's documented. So when you go to Egypt, they say, "Hey man, we don't have nothing like that in our history." They let it be known, like, "Yo, we don't really have that in our history of the people who saying they was in bondage in what we know to be Egypt, but America does." So that's a prophecy fulfilled. And Trump, in his ego, he want his name on that the same way he wanted his name on them pandemic checks. Hey, I want to go down. Trump know he's in his fourth quarter. So he's like, yo, what else can I do to beautify my obituary? What else can I do to just add to my legacy? Even when I'm gone, people are going to wake up and realize I knew who these people were. And that's what he did, bro. And people were just slow to wake up to what he did.
And
But
remember, I told you. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, but that's so crazy to me that they will say that these people who are in that place right now are the people, even though they don't fit the curses, don't
Right.
fit them. they would say, oh yeah, these people are the people, even though they don't fit the curses, but then won't even entertain the idea that it could be us, even though it fits us like a glove.
Because it's the heist, what you said earlier for Kilo. They not about to, that's a money bag. They not about to mess that up. You
Yeah,
know
and
what I
like I
mean?
told you, the arrogance, I be trying to tell certain people like that. That's like I think we be so filled with hatred to the point that it can sometimes be to a fault at
Mm-hmm.
times. Because I was telling people, stop worrying about Trump so much and talking about all the stuff that he's doing out there. Because some of the stuff that he's doing, whether he wants to do it to help us or not, it's beneficial to us.
Correct.
Like his arrogance, some of the times, it's gonna be beneficial to us. Because,
Mm-hmm.
like I said, like you were just talking about what he admitted and stuff like that. And like I was also saying, I wouldn't be surprised as long as this reparation stuff has been going on, if Trump was to be the president that finally signed off on it.
He's going
Because
to do it.
he's
Yeah.
this dude, he has a ego, he's a very egotistic dude. And that would
Uh-huh.
stroke his ego like crazy if
Yeah.
he's to be able to be the president to finally say, look what I did for the blacks. I'm the
Why wouldn't
greatest
he finish?
of all
Right,
time.
Jamie. Why wouldn't he finish the job of what he started in his first term? That's the so if you've already, bro, sis, that's a public law. HR 1242. When you're Jamie, you checked it out in our last show. That's public law as we speak. That's not a bill that needs to be passed. He signed that into law. So why? So to your point, Jamie, why wouldn't he finish the sandwich? Okay, you put the bread at the bottom half of the sandwich, the low. So here's the thing. White America, remember that it's so like to for Keeler's point, the greatest heist in history. You heard what Ted Cruz said. I was raised to bless Israel. So what Christian Americans are doing, they're blessing Israel with their money and everything. But they're blessing the one over there. They're not blessing the one right up under their feet because they got us under the description of sub-Saharan Africans. And
Okay,
some white
somebody
Americans
named,
know already.
I'm a
Some white
little curious.
Americans know already, but they don't have the courage to. That's a tough thing to ask them to come out. Some have done it. I got videos where they're like, no, the black Americans are the true people.
Yeah, and you know what to add to that, but they also have a sense of probably fear because they then have to realize that they have been in America terrorizing
God's
God's
chosen
chosen
people.
people.
Just say it. Yeah. You know
They've
how
been
that's a
lynching,
hell of a guilt
killing,
trip.
raping,
Yeah.
doing all this,
God's
and you
chosen
know
people.
what Revelation says, he's coming back with vengeance.
Mm-hmm.
So they don't want that. They don't want to think
They
about
don't
that.
exactly. They don't right.
So I'd
So
rather
just
spend my money and
He
uplift
watched
these
it
people who I
just like
know.
back in the day. Back then, if you remember when they was first getting ready to crucify Christ, they washed his hands of it. That's what Trump is doing right now. He
not
washing his hands.
yeah, but not they. We crucified Christ. That's what part
We
of our
did.
life, Rakita said. That's where our curses come from.
Well,
Part of it, we killed
that's what I'm
Christ.
referring to. That's what I'm saying. I may have made
Think
it
about
like I
this.
was white.
If we're in agreement, I'm gonna call them that are Jewish Israelis, because I'm gonna be honest with you. I respect power, and if me and Fakila don't have the power that Nick Cannon have, and what's his name, Kyrie Irving, and all these other dudes they've canceled, we do got to kind of not be fearful, but be careful, be mindful. So if we're agreeing that they're not the people, how did they kill the person we call Jesus?
They
We
didn't
had,
know.
thank
Not
you, we
them.
did. Our
We
ancestors did.
did.
We did.
Right,
We
Why you
right.
think
did.
why you think we catching so much hell? We
We
killed the Messiah.
did.
Yeah. The same way we do today.
Yeah, we do. We did.
Exactly. Every
Yeah,
time
it's not that
one
they
of them
did it. They weren't
rising up.
mentioned in the.
I keep telling
Yeah.
folks, as much as we want to give, that's why I keep telling people we put too much energy into trying to hate these, the whites that you're saying doing all the oppressing. Because I keep telling people they can't achieve the shit that they're doing without self-hatred. We
Mm-hmm.
keep having them take down our great leaders that's trying to
Mm-hmm.
help us. We keep having them do it. You
Proving
pay
that we're
attention. Every last one of the time when it happened, one of our greatest revolutionaries, who the one that pulled the trigger? It's somebody black. A
Thank you.
trailer
Well,
do this.
Jamie, is that fair though? I mean, I get it, but is that fair? Because a lot of times these people are set up by the power structure to
They
Ah,
do
are.
this stuff.
set
So
up or
like it's
not,
not
they
But,
still doing it.
I agree
no,
with
but
you,
if
Jamie.
somebody but check this out, Jamie. But if somebody come up to you and say, do this or I'm going after your mom, do this or I'm killing everybody in your family,
I
do this
understand.
or then
I
what you gonna
understand.
do?
We get that for Keela, but we're saying we're still the people, whether it's Malcolm X, whether it's Dr. King crew giving up his love. I ain't saying a black person killed Dr. King, but I think somebody in that crew dropped the location.
Absolutely
Hey,
did.
hey, here's where
I'm
we gonna
positive
be.
of it.
I'm,
He
I'm,
did.
I'm gonna get him to walk out on the balcony around whatever time he got hit. So to your point, for Keela, and to Jamie's point, we keep what I'm saying is, listen, there's something called historical science and observational science. Historical science is so you can observe us now and see that we're still doing it. We did it to Nip, God bless his soul. We did it to Young Dolph, God bless his soul. We keep doing it. Them people are not doing it.
Yeah.
But real quick, I want to address Branford. You said Trump is a part of prophecy. Can you elaborate if you're still in the chat? Can you elaborate what you mean by Trump is a part of prophecy?
He already fulfilled prophecy. My bad, Jamie. He
I get it, but
fulfilled
I
it
just want
already.
to know. I want to know
Okay.
what is he talking about?
HR 1242 fulfills prophecy, and Trump gets credit for that. Like it or not, that's an actual fact now. I don't give a damn what president would have did it, but he did. We can't take that credit from him. He fulfilled, but he did it in a smooth way to where it wouldn't be that obvious, and he upset certain people of his base. And now it's too late. Like shit, I'm out of there now. I got a couple more years to go. Y'all niggas can kick rocks with no socks. It's done. And he's going into infinity as a person who did that. He know what he's doing.
Well, like I've been saying out there, my biggest thing is which it don't bother me too much, but if I had to say a major thing that he's doing that is a bothersome right now is how much he's in support of the people in the Middle East.
Uh-huh.
But we knew that. We knew
I
that no
mean,
matter who up there, they gonna do
of
what
course,
that
of
little
course.
country in the Middle East tells them to do.
That's
But you
that's
got to be
another reason
careful with
why
them because they're very they got crash outs on deck.
they definitely got crashed out.
So they know how to get shit
On
done.
top of
We
that,
don't
they
do
got
our stuff.
loyal crash outs.
Yeah, they got and they got money and they got power. So I don't give a damn if your people agree with what I'm doing, as long as your politicians get in there and do what I tell them to do. They give us the money that we require because we're gonna pay for their campaigns. We're gonna give them billions of dollars. We're gonna give them billions to for you to do what we say. That's the type of power we need. In order if we're going to rely on asking the government for something, that's how we're going to have to approach it. We're not going to be able to go up there and say, please Trump, give us reparations. No, we need power, money and power. That's what runs America. They've showed us the blueprint.
Mm-hmm.
We
You
just
know,
gotta.
and it's crazy every time I keep telling folks like whether it's a lot of our people that ends up getting money, and when I'm talking about people that look like us, obviously, they do a lot of their stuff earlier, like having fun, abusing their power and stuff that they have. But it seems like as they get older, they always tend to try to make a power move later, and then those same people use that use what they did in the past to bury them. And I'll like we were just talking about, we always help them do it. It's always has been. And like Diddy, despite what a lot of us may think of him, he's an example of it. Because as I know this, Wakila, because I think you post stuff about this on your channel about it. But he was very much into trying to raise more money for us, open up more businesses and stuff for us, and more importantly, open up a black political party. And once he started talking like that, that's when we found out about the freak out.
Uh-huh.
But if
So,
I could respond to that, but I feel like that's one of the issues. Like if you rely on them to make a living, if you rely on them to build your fortune,
yeah,
they're gonna be able, they're gonna find something to be able to always take you down. And
Oh
even
yeah.
if you do not do what they say,
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna strip you of everything that you have, and I'm gonna bring you low. But a lot
Yep.
of times, what I feel is though, but I feel as though that if a lot of our celebrities who make all this money, if they were to seriously invest in our communities, that we may back them up and be like, well, I know this is what he's done. Maybe I don't necessarily believe that. Or maybe you changed our perception of what black people are and what they believe in. Like, I don't know. Like when you to me, if you want to chill with them when you having fun, then when they tearing your ass down and you don't want to be bothered with black people, when they tearing your ass down, don't come lipping and hollering back to the black community.
Right.
We do not accept you.
Right.
Bye.
That's real.
yeah,
Do
That's
not
real.
come back.
Yeah.
A lot of these people, all they want to do is stunt on people like them. They want to come to the hood and give out turkeys, throw a birthday bash, but they don't want to put no money into their community. I mean, you go to Yo Gotti community, Yo Gotti community is being gentrified as we speak. And he was on Instagram last time I saw him. He was on Instagram buying that girl from LA all these Louis Vuitton bags. Or he was gambling or something. He lost $500,000 gambling doing something with Jay-Z. And I'm like, literally, they building a bike lane through the hood right now. A bike lane.
yeah. I remember you telling me about that. What was that? Yesterday or the day before? Whichever one.
And
That's
you
crazy.
don't hear Yo Gotti. Yo Gotti ain't out here fighting for nothing. His community is being gentrified. The community.
Speaking of Yo Gotti, that same day that I was talking about earlier, July 11, 2016, when we did what we did, a lot of people was reaching out to Yo Gotti to come out in support of us. And that nigga put up a tweet and said, I'm not, I can't remember exactly what he said, but it was something in the nature of, I'm not coming out to support you niggas, or something like that.
Sell out.
Yeah, he said that shit. I remember it.
And
Sell out.
so
Wait,
it goes credit.
wait.
Go
The
ahead,
crazy
Jay.
thing is, Atlanta did it right after that, and T.I. came out for them.
And Ti, yeah, I think Ti deserve a little credit because it was a phase where he did kind of get out there in the trenches.
Yeah, he did. I did.
Yeah.
I thought I saw he was building like an apartment building for like homeless. I just hoped that he was discriminating. That was the only thing that I wanted to make
You're
sure
funny.
was that if
Damn.
Your
you're
ass is
building
so funny.
72 homes, you know what I'm saying? If
Yeah.
you're
Yeah,
building
I feel
70,
it.
if you're a black celebrity and you're building 72 homes for the homeless population, I
Yeah.
really hope that you're discriminating. I hope that you're saying that this is for black people, because what's the point if you're inviting other races into, you ain't helping us
That's true.
then.
Okay, it's gonna defeat the purpose, basically, for sure.
Yeah, then you're not helping us.
Because you're
If
not,
you know what I'm
Right.
saying.
because they always find a way to finesse their way into getting all the benefits. They do it
Yeah,
all the time.
no, you need to discriminate.
We
Come on,
have to.
Fakila. You
See,
no,
that
but
goes back
so
to
let
what
me.
we was talking about on the
But
very first one we did like this.
huh.
When we was having the conversation, I was saying, bro, every other ignorant group does this, but us.
But that's
But
the key word,
us.
Jamie. Jamie, that's the key word, ethnic group. When y'all and the reason I said that about Fakila because she practiced law, so you can't do it based off race, but you can do it based off ethnic group. So Jamie, when you said ethnic group, he could have said, "Hey, if you Black American and you a descendant of an American slave or an American
Yeah,
freedman, this
right.
apartment complex is for you." If
Yeah.
he say this is only for Black people, he can get
Then
brought into
then he
court
can
for that.
get sued. Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah,
that's he can
but
get sued for that.
but I mean, he's not gonna say that. I'm not saying that. No, when I say discriminating, I mean
Hmm.
discriminating like how non-black people do. They don't necessarily put a sign up that says only
Right.
for black
Right.
people. They
I get
review
what
Right.
you're
your
saying.
application. They ask you what race you are, and if you
Right.
ain't the race that I want you to be in
Uh-huh.
my apartment building, then I'm denying your application because
Got you.
you ain't got
Okay.
a work history or
Got
Yep.
you.
whatever. Whatever the reason
They
is,
gonna
I'm
put a
gonna
lot of
cover
the
up
questions and
just like them.
requirements with things that more than likely a certain demographic of people is not gonna be able to, you know.
Got it.
Exactly.
Understood.
Maybe you
Okay.
make
So,
too
so you
much
saying he could
money.
have did you saying he could have did it that way. Okay, I see what you're saying.
Put it in word and be like, this group is for
That's what I'm saying.
people
Like,
with a certain level of income, a certain that comes from descendants of here, and things in that nature. You say incomes and descendants of this and stuff like that, like descendants of slavery or something like that. Then you can butt them out. But you can't just say this is only for people of color, black.
No, you can't say that. But
you can't. That's
but they don't tell us that when they deny us for an apartment.
True, absolutely.
Right,
they just
do it the
raise
way
the
you
rent.
said.
They
You got
come
to pay
up with
3
a
times the
reason.
rent.
They come up with
They
a
know how to
reason
do it. That's a
as
good
to
point. I hear what
why.
you're saying.
I mean, but that's why I keep
LA,
saying
they damn
practice
boy.
of
LA
this
is out of their
that
mind with this shit.
Yeah, for real.
we if anybody should know how to discriminate as much as we go through. We should know how to do it.
How to do it. Good point. I get that. Yeah.
So
that's
anytime
what
I
we.
see a celebrity doing anything for any type of group, I'm thinking to myself, I really hope you're discriminating. Like, I really hope that this is specifically for black people, and if it's not helping us, benefiting us.
It's
Oh
not.
god.
in any way.
Yeah, and
And
I agree with you. It's just so funny, but she is so funny because she's so
What?
serious.
I'm dead ass.
I know
That's
you
the
right.
thing.
as she should be. You're right. It should be
Oh
that way.
Dead
god.
But credit to Jamie's point about niggas love to stunt on other niggas, and
Yep.
that's what a lot of our celebrities do.
Yep.
Uh-huh.
They want
Like
chains
now,
and shit. They want to go to a
But they
Middle
won't be
Eastern
special no more.
jeweler
Keep
and
saying
spend
it.
$500,000 on a chain. I find
right,
that so stupid when I see videos of little baby in a jewelry store with a non-black jeweler in there buying jewelry, and he didn't spend $300,000 on some jewelry, and I'm sitting there thinking like you think that's cute.
it's not.
300,000. That's freaking
But
crazy.
that credit to your
That
point,
is
Jamie. That's
not
him stunting.
cute.
That's them stunting on us. Hey,
You
y'all
should
niggas
be
can't afford to
embarrassed,
do
and
this.
then you're giving
Yeah.
it to another race of people.
And then this is the thing though. With going just to dive a little bit deeper on it. Those celebrities, a lot of them folks not rich like they be doing. They be taking out loans or having they people that actually owns them, part of their label or whatever,
Right.
They'll buy the shit for them, let them wear it so that they can stunt on the niggas, but they actually don't have the money to buy it. But
Right.
they're gonna let them put on the persona that they're the ones balling out of control, able to buy it. But in actuality, their pockets not really showing that. Like it's very few of them that actually has it.
Yeah, great point. And then, but it influenced us who don't have it to go commit crimes and break
Exactly.
laws.
I tell
Yeah.
folks that all the time. You ignorant people that go and buy these Louis Vuittons, these all these stupid expensive designer clothes, necklaces, shoes, and stuff like that. They go and spend your hard-earned money on that. These celebrities that influence you to do it, they got that shit for free. They didn't buy it. They're fooling you to buy it. That's why these commercials and stuff like that, like me getting paid on YouTube right now, the ad revenue. The reason why we get paid like we get paid for that shit is because they know it influences motherfuckers to do crazy shit like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And we just fall for it. Beyonce's wearing that. Okay, let me go back. And we know Beehive fans are crazy. Like that girl, she got them in a tight little chokehold.
Well, she's the last superstar. You can count on one hand. Like the one thing about social media got rid of all of the superstars. You can count on one hand. I would love to get y'all thoughts on this. Beyonce is one. Taylor Swift is the other, and it ain't no dude superstars no more. You can, and when I say a superstar, the criteria is you have to have a cult following. Beyonce has a cult following.
No, I gotta
Taylor
disagree with
Swift.
that. I gotta disagree.
What part?
It
I
is
think
a
Chris
cult
Brown. I think Chris Brown is probably like the only dude. I mean, probably Drake.
We gotta be specific too. Are we referring to only the music industry?
Anybody who has but the criteria is who has a cult following.
Yeah, that's not true.
All right.
I don't give it. You might say something about me, but you should know who I'm about to go with.
So let's
he
drop
absolutely has a cult. Not even close. Not even he has a Crazy, man.
Let's start with the traditional celebrities first. And then we can get, because I got an idea of where you probably going, Jamie, with like the new influencers. And you're right, they are developing cult followers. But before we get to
I'm talking about basketball. LeBron, that nigga fans is a cult. That is a cult. They will attack not only will they attack you online, craziness, and he can do no wrong. It don't matter what he does, they're gonna justify it. And then on top of that, they will actually attack you in person. Like they will find, what you say about LeBron? Why you remember LeBron? And it's videos of them folks fighting, stabbing people because they said something bad about LeBron.
Okay,
that's a cult.
All right, that's fair. All right, for Keela, who you got? Like you that has. So we got LeBron.
Maybe Chris Brown. I think he's, if not stardom, maybe approaching it. I think he got a solid fan base as far as like, entertainment. I would say Drake, only because Drake got non-black fans and they appear to show up for him. But I think that as far as black culture, we're sort of done with Drake. At this point, Drake not in our culture. He's not on the blogs. He's not something that we discuss all the time. He came out with an album and I didn't even know. But
right. Nothing just got
the mouth. Yeah, so I don't really think black culture is keeping up with Drake, but Drake got non-black fans, so he can go to Argentina and probably set out a stadium, because people like Drake. So if you're talking about just not more than black culture, you're talking about just worldwide culture. I would say Drake. I would say Kendrick too, because when I went to the Kendrick concert, I realized that Kendrick had non-black fans too, and they packed Phoenix out. And I was thinking, but this is West Coast, but I was shocked to see non-black people here to see Kendrick and SZA, but maybe they was there to see SZA. But I think Kendrick got non-black fans, but I assume that, when I like hip hop, I like Kendrick style of hip hop. Like I like for you to be talking about something, unless it is, something that's catchy. I'm gonna dance to in the club. But as far as like a fan, like I like what Kendrick. I like when people be talking about something. And so I never assumed that non-black people will be into our art in that level where they will want to hear about sort of the consciousness in a rap song, So I didn't think non-black people would be interested in it. So I was sort of shocked to see as many non-black people there to see Kendrick. And, I know that he a big star, but I thought that he just had black fans, So I would say Kendrick, Drake. But I don't know how Kendrick would do outside of America.
Yeah, I was about to say Drake's not Drake. Kendrick's not a cult. He don't qualify for that.
Yeah, then that's right. So thanks, Jamie, because I did want to make that distinction. Cult and fans are different.
Yeah.
Yeah. Take it from there. You got it.
But like I said, Beyonce unquestionably, LeBron unquestionably.
Mm-hmm.
You can make an argument for Drake. Drake got some crazy fans, but I don't know. I don't know if I can even say Drake qualifies.
Fans are a cult. Yes,
I don't think his fans is a cult because I didn't see them crashing out the way I see Beyonce fans be crashing out if you say something bad about her, or LeBron fans if you say something bad about him.
Okay. So we still haven't made it past. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I think a lot of times these people are so miserable in their personal lives that they sort of, lash out or take things personally when you hear talk about somebody else. Like, for example, like if you said, "Oh, Beyonce, I don't like that blonde hair on you. I like you better than black hair." Are her fans gonna attack me and say I hate black women?
Attack you like crazy. You a hater. You just wish you would have did. You have. What do you got?
I do think Beyonce look better than black hair. I think all black women look better than black hair.
I agree with you.
All right, so with three people on this topic, we still only got 4 names: Beyonce, LeBron. I'm struggling already. Beyonce, LeBron. Who else we named? They got cult followers. No, but we don't know.
Can we qualify presidents?
You said presidents?
Can we qualify presidents?
Yeah, because we're talking about superstars. So yeah, Trump counts. Trump definitely got a cult following. The MAGA is definitely
Trump got a Trump just represents the RNs like you said earlier. So I don't know if we can call them that, but you know,
Oh, I was gonna say
beyond
Obama
that,
might got one because that nigga ain't do no wrong to the
amongst
black.
the black community, damn near.
Yeah,
Some
he got
strong
one.
supporters. I don't know. A cult almost mean like your people would crash out for you. That's
I
what I mean
think
by a
Black
niggas
people
cult.
do
would crash
crash
out
out
for
for
Barack
Obama.
Obama.
All right.
Black people crash out over Barack Obama, and they
Right.
struggle to give us one thing that he did that helped us.
Exactly. And then they'll get
I
mad
got
and want to
one.
fight
I
you if
got
you
Yeah,
one,
say
y'all.
that.
I got one, y'all. If y'all want to hear it, I do got one.
I want to hear
And
it.
he
Let's hear it.
played.
yeah. Oh,
He
wait.
he played chess with this because when he did the crack coke law, when he balanced crack and coke, and I don't even have to ask y'all who did crack affect more than anybody else. It affected us. So without him using racial language, when and I know people personally who got out of federal prison who had life in federal prison, and when he balanced the crack coke law, these people was able to get out of prison because they was charging people who got caught with crack higher numbers than they was charging the people that got caught with coke. So that's one thing Obama did. That's the farthest I can go as far as defending him on something he did that directly benefited our community.
Yeah, because coke is
Okay,
gonna be for white people, crack is for us.
Exactly. So there you go.
but
And
you
he
know,
did it.
he just
Mhm.
fixed the shit that his vice president put in place.
You said he
That
fixed.
was
Yeah, exactly. But
yeah.
But
that still
I'm gonna say
benefited
this though,
us.
even with that though, that's still
That's a
only
good point.
that still only help a small percentage of blacks. It don't help us in general.
Yeah, that's all I got as far as defending Obama. That's as far as I could go. But I know people
You
personally
tried,
who
you
got
tried,
out.
you
Yeah.
tried. I mean, you came up with something more than a lot of Obama supporters do. They can't come up with nothing. All they say is he was our
Nothing. There's
first black
nothing else
president,
besides that.
and I say
Yeah.
he ain't black.
Yeah. Outside of him balancing the crack coke law, like, and that's a great point you made from Keita, that he pretty much fixed what his vice president did in '94. You know, the crime bill. Biden did the crime bill. Obama came back and reversed that with Biden as his vice president. So that is something he did. And then think about this, man. When you know people personally who had, if you know anybody in federal prison with life, when you go look their name up, it got all nines. So that means you dying in here. And people got set free when he did that. Mostly black people, because crack affected us more than any other community. So that's all I got for him. Anything else, I don't know.
How would I feel if Kendrick and Andre did a album together? I think that. I mean, I think it'd be dope. It'd be a cold ass album.
Yeah.
As long as he don't play the flute.
Ah, shit.
I'm down to 3%, Jane.
All right, we about to go ahead and close it out anyway. This is the
All right.
longest one we ever had, but I
Yeah,
must
I
say,
know.
this is absolutely the best one we've had.
I agree. We just got to probably do some segments. I could probably help you out with that if you need me to, like chop up some of the segments. That is a long time.
Yeah,
3 hours.
yeah. I'm gonna have to do
Yeah.
some cutting on this. But yeah, this is absolutely the best one. We dove in deep. We was engaging. It got a little intense. Everything. Yeah, this one was good.
We gotta push that. I'll close out with this. That segment we had on the Hebrew stuff, that was heavy. And if we can
Yeah,
edit that
you
right,
gonna definitely. I'm definitely cutting that out.
all right,
Absolutely.
cool. Because that's what's gonna help us get the reparations before my battery go dead. Once, because them people gonna have a choice. Like, damn, you mean like Fakila said earlier, damn. So we've been treating God's chosen people like this all these centuries, not years, not decades, centuries, and they gonna have to have a reckoning where, okay, so what do we do now? The least you can do is help repair these people, and that's what we could look forward to. Go ahead. And if they
And
don't want to
maybe
do that,
God
then
would
go ahead.
accept it as some, but that ain't how it's prophesied. That's the only thing. I mean,
How's
you
it
know,
prophesied?
that he's
Remind me.
coming down here to
All right.
establish law and order.
So there, okay. Either way, because I don't think they. I think if they're Esau, they hate us inherently. If that's the right way to use that word.
Yes.
So
But
so your
imagine,
prophet
yeah.
is right.
They're absolutely Esau. No question
All right.
about
So
it.
there you
They're
go.
from the
So
descendant of Japheth. Japheth was the one that was the clear people descendants, and
uh
which
huh.
this derived over to to Esau, and then of course the descendant of Shem, which is the third son of
Mm-hmm.
Abraham of Noah. His descendants is Joseph. I mean, Shem, which is blacks that later on became Israel, and then you got shit um who's the other one?
The Hamites.
Ham, which is
Yeah,
where
the
the Hamites,
Hamites, the
right,
Africans, right,
which is the Africans, exactly.
right.
So like I said though, pretty much I think that we're gonna get ready to close this on now, people. Like always, much respect and love to everybody that stopped through. Much love to the panel. Um, we're gonna absolutely do this again next Sunday. Try to have some good hidden topics like this for next week. So same time next week. But until the next one. And oh yeah, I will be doing a live for tomorrow after hours. So but like I said, if you wasn't in here earlier for me when I said it then, I'll say it again. It's gonna be a little earlier than normal. So instead of that 11 o'clock Central Time mark, it might start like 10 o'clock Central Time. So
All right,
that's pretty much all I got for y'all. I'm gonna go ahead and just close it out.
all
All
right.
right,
Stay
peace out.
blessed. Stay blessed. Much love.